And
Well, so what? Real talk is like a no holds bar.
Yeah.
Y'all yeah. Like a radio station.
Yeah, we just do this real talk thing, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hey, I normally would have been finished. I'm playing it extra slow.
What is up, you guys? So I'm on my way, or rather Mowgli and I are on the way to we're on the way to Miami. I'm on my way to surprise my boy Claude. Now there's a lot of things I want to do in Miami other than surprise my boy Claude, but this is important because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm turning 28, kind of having an early midlife crisis, and a part of my personality is like I'm an entertainer. I like to sometimes be a chameleon, and this trip, I need this trip because I like to get grounded. I like to get back to understanding why it is that I do the things I do, because like you start working, you become an adult, and you kind of like end up like just being what you need to be in environments. Like I need to go home and understand Ricky, and you know, like I want to kind of like just get plugged back in. I kind of want to take you guys on the journey with me. My boy Claudens doesn't know that I'm on my way. He's got a show somewhere, you know, he's always busy. But I thought he would be the perfect person to help me kind of like get plugged back in. I think you need people to kind of like just remind you of who you were, where you are now. Who you were and where you are now. I'm gonna ask Claude a few questions that kind of show a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? We've been friends since high school, y'all, like high school. And I want you guys to know this. In high school, I wasn't a pastor, I was a jerk, I was a butt. He's gonna tell y'all, I promise you, at some point he's gonna say, hey, Rick, he was, I don't know how he's gonna say it, but he's gonna say it at some point. But either way, I'm excited to get kind of like rooted again, because it's important. I just think it's important, especially for those of you guys who are creative, especially for those of you guys who kind of like, it's not putting on a mask, it's just you get worn out by, you just get worn out. You just kind of want to just get plugged in. So here we go, real talk vlog. Oh, by the way, real talk, the whole point of real talk, Claudens, my boy, we actually kind of like made real talk. Like back in high school, I would always like have something I was bothered by, and in the middle of the class, even if the teacher was talking, I'd just be like, hey, real talk. I'll start the sentence with real talk. But Claude, we would just have these, we'd have like groups of people like around us at lunch or whatever, and we'd just be talking about something super controversial. This isn't controversial. This is just your boy is drained and I need to be filled back up. I want to be reminded of who I am. So this is just one of the ways that I do it. So Claude, I'm on the way, my boy. We are halfway to Miami. Every road trip you need a Wawa stop, okay? I had to get me some bang. So some fears, some things I'm nervous about. Even though this whole thing is about going home and getting grounded, I'm not gonna lie to you. My boy Claudens is like pretty famous, and I'm so proud of him in so many ways. But like before I got into ministry, and again, ministry isn't the enemy, but before I got into professional ministry, I just wanted to be the world's best saxophone player. So in high school, middle school, I started out, just a little bit of my story, like I started out just kind of playing music. My parents, my dad kind of like made me, I started playing trumpet, and then eventually transitioned to saxophone. When I met Claude, like, yeah, my sole goal outside of being a jerk, it's not a saxophone player, just the best saxophone player in the world. That was my only goal. There it is. Hold on. Chuck is passing by. Kind of nervous coming back home and getting ready to see my boy, because he's a great saxophone player, and like I've avoided playing saxophone in front of my boy because like it's just nerve-wracking. Like he's great at it now, and I'm kind of like just decent at it. So I got my horn in the car this trip to Miami, because again, if I'm gonna be grounded, then I should like face that kind of like weird fear, nervousness. Again, like it's nothing against like, you know, what I do. I love what I do, and being able to lead and speak into people's lives these last few years. But man, it's like kind of like getting back to the roots of Rick is like, yeah, it was all music. It was all that side of things. So I'm looking forward to playing with them, playing saxophone. Again, like he's traveled, he's, you know, an artist. And it's interesting because like I'm sure even if he heard this, he'd be like, yo, like I would love to play with him, you know, like play with Rick. Like it's weird because like whenever he talks about me in music, he still like refers to me like as a great saxophone player, and we both know like Joke is crazy. But hey, this is a part of that journey of like kind of getting back to like your roots, kind of getting grounded, and kind of like figuring out, not figuring out, but just rediscovering, okay, this was my starting point and this is where I'm at now, and just kind of appreciating yourself and loving yourself. Just pro tip, right? In my lane, in my work, we have something called a Sabbath, which is just a day that you kind of like, you're supposed to do like things that refresh you and, you know, like worship God, right? This is kind of like that for me. I'm spend 2 nights down there. Before I meet up with Claude, I'm gonna go swing by my mom's church, my dad's church. It's a Haitian church, so that's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna take them out to eat because I miss Mother's Day, and then I'm gonna take my dad out to eat. I'm probably gonna run late. I'm extremely tired. It's late. It's late. I'm on this bang right now, and it's not kicking in. All right, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna get some gas in the car. In my chariot, I'm sorry, you're right. Get some gas in the chariot. Halfway to Miami. Honestly, I feel like once I get to Miami, I'm gonna go straight to bed and get ready for church in the morning. It's an all Haitian church. You know what I didn't say? Anything about like me, how I got from like wanting to be a pro music guy to professional ministry. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna go get grounded. So. All right, right now, food and gas. I'm maybe about like 20-30 minutes out from home, and I am pretty sleepy, I'm not gonna lie to you, but let's talk for a second. I don't know what you do. I don't know what y'all do for a living, and your dreams, your passions, what you're doing to pay your bills. This might just be 2 a.m. Ricky talking. Exhaustion is a normal thing, like getting tired, getting weary, that's a total Bible-y word. I just want to make sure that like for you guys out there watching and listening, like that when you go on your retreat, that it's not a resignation from coming back. Ministry for me was never like the desired path. Like I thought I could be a pastor, but I was always kind of like, I don't know if I could do it, because what it means to be a pastor, like live a higher level of like standards, and that's just Bible, you know, it is what it is. And granted, my grandfather was a pastor from Haiti, and you know, all kinds of great things like that. Honestly, maybe being a musician was just like the easier route. Not easier, it does take a lot of work, it does take a lot of discipline. Walking in your calling, it can be cutting, you know, like it's tough. And this isn't like a hear me cry, this is real talk. This is 2 a.m. This is driving on a road that is extremely boring and listening to a ton of music. Even Mowgli's asleep right now. Point blank, you know, like I'm asking the question, like, what is it for you? What is it for you that is restful worship? Who are those people in your life, in your circle, in your bubble that it's like, yeah, this is good. This is a good reset. You know, like, what is it that you do? Like, I know I know a guy that does golfing. You know, like, so for me, this is it. I'm gonna go home, I'm tired. I don't know what to expect. I'm gonna see Claude. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to good conversation. Yeah.
N'a demandé pasteur Ricky Siné, il va passer, il va faire la bénédiction pour nous. Good to see.
Guys, let's pray. On prière. Jesus, thank you for bringing us here this morning, and God, I pray that the word that was imparted on us, that we take it outside of these four walls. God, I pray that we look on people with compassion, that we look in the mirror for where to start as far as working on ourselves. God, bless us as we bless others. We love you and we ask all these things in your mighty and precious name. We all said, nous tout dit, Amen, Amen. Bon, c'est béni. Good guy, dog. This guy's no good, dog. What are you doing here, bro? This guy's no.
All the way out in the northern parts of Florida. My man is an amazing saxophone player and speaker too, so I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna play you. Tell me how it sounds, bro.
It is insane. I'm about to meet up with my boy Rick here at Miami Arts, where it all started, where we met up for the first time years ago, and it's gonna be crazy. Now I actually teach here, so it's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna link up with my boy. We're gonna have some real talk.
You late, dog. So late. What's up, my boy? How you doing? Oh my! What the AJ? AJ! What the heck?
Yeah.
Yo! AJ!
In a minute.
Lopez Lima! Took me a second, bro.
Both teach there. Bro, it's good to see you, man.
AJ!
Am I live right now?
Yes, this is live, man. Oh.
You're in it
Yeah,
now,
you're
baby.
in it,
All right,
man.
you're in it now.
This is AJ Lopez Lima. Tell them where to follow you at, AJ.
You can follow me on Instagram.
And, this is Miami. We in here. This is home.
Yeah, we in Little Haiti right now.
This is Little Haiti.
Home.
This is listen. Y'all think Miami pretty? Y'all don't see this. Y'all don't see this side of Miami, man.
This is the real thing.
This is where we used to come out here, get some food. Zoe's spot over here. Anyways, we about to get into some stuff, and yeah, crazy. All right, y'all. So we needed to change location because it's raining. Number one, and number two, the boy Claude has to go to work. We gotta collect the bag. So I'm gonna actually be shadowing him today, and then we're gonna knock this out, have some conversation. This is really bringing me back when I was in like elementary school here in Miami, man. I promise you, every elementary looked like this. This school, for y'all who don't know, is like 100 and how long? Over 100 years old. We've not even gotten to the questions yet. We about to get to it. question is, how did you meet me? What was your first impression of me? What's the story? Tell the people the story, Doc.
Wow, I met this guy
This guy is a good guy.
back in 2009. So we're looking at something like 12 years ago when we met, and this cat was like super, like, you know, the coolest
What does that
guy.
even mean? What does that even mean? What is that?
You were with your hoodie on. We were both the same way in this very weird way. We were connected. I knew it. I was like, that dude is kind of got the same vibe as me, where seems cool but sheltered right now because he don't. I was both in an environment. Yeah, you're like you stand from afar. You don't want to say too much. You don't want to do too much.
There wasn't a lot of ethnicity at that school too, so there was that.
So it's like, you know, you peeping the scene. Like,
exactly,
is it safe?
Exactly.
Can I do me? Oh man, dude, we both were in the trenches. Not a lot has changed, but man, we've always had this same energy. It was crazy. I mean, the dude was, you know, rocking his hoodie all black. I was rocking my hoodie all black, and then it was a day, man. But he had the shades on. We used to have our lunches outside, and then this cat was like shades on, hoodie, and just like sitting back and looking at the scene, whatever. And then we ended up in the same band class. I was like, oh shoot! And then the cat plays saxophone too.
Okay, so I'm actually like, all of this that you talking about, I don't even remember that.
I mean, my first impression was this dude is he's on defense right now. That's what I felt. Like, I was like, that's a cat that's on defense. And he's definitely, I mean, we were all coming, there was no precedent to our school. So mind you, when we went into school, it was the first year of the school. So no one, you have no agendas, you don't got no homies, you can ask, oh, how's the school like? Ain't nobody out there.
What class to go
to? You know,
to?
we were the guinea pigs. So yeah, man, it was cool. One thing I did admire though, this cat pulled out his horn and whatever. He was doing his thing. Which till this day, Ricky's gonna pull out his horn and do his thing. And when I heard him play too, I was like, my first time, I was like, oh my God, like what is this guy doing, man? Like what? And he had far more experience than me in the improvisation world.
At that time. Now Claudens plays at ground up with Bob Reynolds, my favorite saxophone player. So there's a thing about friends that where if they have differences in backgrounds, differences in like faith, differences at all, differences like bad, like we shouldn't be friends. Like, how did you overcome that? Like, how would you like say, hey, because like nowadays it's like, man, people are looking to be almost essentially the same in order to be best friends. Man, here's the differences that we have. Like, talk about those differences, then how you overcame that and why it might be beneficial that like we're not twinsies. You know?
Some people may think we're twins sometimes.
That actually did happen.
Happened last night. I'm not wearing my gold trim glasses, but honestly, me and Rick have always kind of had our differences, especially when it comes to like certain things like spirituality, which is a huge one. Like, we both believe in the same God, but we definitely follow different paths in a way. But at the same time, there was always something that I think we both understood, which was boundaries. And there's boundaries that you set that allows you to respect someone.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to like be doing the same exact thing as them, but at the end of the day, it's all about respecting someone's experience. You understand? So like, I understood where Ricky stood on his end of Christianity, and I understood where I was in terms of my Christianity. So there were certain things that I wouldn't do or I would do, and
we would do together.
Ricky wouldn't be like, oh bro, like you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like, it was never like, oh, you're trying to pressure me to do a thing.
Right.
Or I'm like, yo, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. No, but we always have good conversations and just respect each other. At the end of the day, everybody has their paths, everyone has their journey. It's really a question of respect. And you know, it gets to a point where, you know, we rock with a dude and shows enough consistency that you say, all right, cool. Like, we gonna be able to get through this no matter what, as long as we can speak on it. And that's one thing that has happened between me and Rick for many years, where it's like, when we do have disagreements or when we do like, you know, like polar opposite views of something, or something like that, we can openly have a conversation about it. Like, I can tell him, yo, bruh, you tripping.
Which happens a lot.
Yo,
for the record. It's like nowadays it feels like that's like a thing, like where the differences are like aligned. Like, hey, because I'm a Christian, which by the way, Claude knew me. Yo, when I told him I was gonna be a pastor, like that's
I mean, I did not see it happening because I always knew you were a man of faith. You did some not so smart things. Maybe you had some bad decisions you made, but I knew like you had your faith.
Here's why this is important. This is the real talk part about Claude, because I actually did do things that would undermine our friendship frequently. He had every reason to like discontinue the friendship. Like, how did you push past those things? Maybe even talk about like one time I got suspended. I tried to drag him in. There was his skateboard.
My only mode of transportation.
There was so many different things that like could have. What's up, y'all? How did you forgive me? Like, I was not the easiest to deal with. How do you deal with people like me? Describe people like me. You can do it. It's fine.
So at the time, Ricky used to be very outspoken, is the word I could say, where he would say things that maybe didn't need to be said, out of turn, maybe sometimes, completely out of turn. And sometimes just being, how can I put this? There were times where Rick was not thinking about how his actions would affect the next person.
Right.
Or as opposed to that, affect me, since we're doing real talk with you.
Yeah.
And he would do certain actions for the laugh, to get the laugh. So Rick would love to laugh. As you guys probably know, he's laughing right now. But I used to tell Ricky, and I had to have a moment where I sat down and I spoke with him. I said, yo, you gotta realize that if everyone involved isn't laughing, it's probably not funny.
How do you navigate?
You were a jerk, man.
There it is.
You were a jerk. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience. And just knowing what a person's really about. Because a lot of people saw Ricky outside, like what he was on the outside. This jerk, always talking mess, always trying to get the laugh, saying all the wrong things in classes and everything. Like, it was a mess. And he would always, in turn, get me in trouble because he was my boy. So if I'm with him, we get in trouble.
All the time.
Sometimes I'd be like, yo, Rick, chill. And at the end of the day, he would still keep going. So no matter what was happening, even 10 years ago, we were having real talks before this became an actual thing.
So, all right, so what I hear you saying when it comes to tension and differences, whether that's in faith, whether that's in practice, that you got to know what somebody's about. Like, how do you even know what somebody's about? What did you know instinctively to lean on, like when you had to make a decision, like, yo, am I gonna keep this person around? Like,
well, you have to pay attention to what is influencing someone to do a thing.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, someone like that too, like, I mean, and I deal with kids all the time. We're at a school, you know? And a lot of times when I see kids act a certain way, they usually act that way when they're around certain people. But when you get them away from those people and you have a conversation with them, you're like, hey man, actually, that's a genuine kid. Like, you know, he's got some stuff going on. He's super talented, or he's doing this and that and the third. So I got a chance to see Rick when he wasn't in that personality. I took the time to say, all right, bet. I could have just been like, yo, you want to treat me like this in front of people?
I can see you.
Well, so what real talk is like a no holds bar.
Yeah,
Like a radio station.
Yeah, we just do this real talk things, man. I love that.
I know we would have been finished. Shit, I'm playing extra slow.
Alright, we gonna hop right back in, dog.
Unexpected audience, but hey, that's how it goes.
So we were talking about navigating tensions. You said that you were on something, man. You were talking about like seeing me outside of when I was putting on the show, which was
right. Well, outside of you being in the environment that I feel in a way forced you to be that Ricky. And it's like you gotta give the people what they want. And to a certain extent, people knew you as that Ricky that was, oh, he's gonna say something funny. Ricky, oh, he's gonna get in trouble. But everyone else is gonna laugh, and at the end of the day, you gonna suffer. And me, since I'm right next to this man, I'ma suffer too. But
it's a blessing and a curse, because to the people who know us well, it's like, I don't know if that's entirely the person that I'm gonna get on the car ride home. Anybody listening that's got a homie, a homegirl, like, they just messed up. They just did something that's whoa. And it's like, man, I know that that's not who they are. How do I heal? How do I forgive? How do I get past that?
Well,
because it's a chance, like, it might happen again.
And one of the things is actually something that Ricky, it's weird, he put me onto it too, and I had to use it on him. It was making a list. So I sat down, I actually really did this, and I sat down, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, what are the pros of keeping this man in my life
That is good,
as a
yeah.
homie, and what are the cons? The pros far outweighed the cons, because our friendship was undeniable. Like the goods were so good.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta stop him there because it's important. You just said something very big. You said the pros outweighed. That means that the cons can have 10 things, but the 3 of them have weight.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you make a pros and cons, and it's like, man, there's like 30 cons, but them 3 pros, it's
They're
weight.
heavy. They're heavy.
It's weight.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. So like pros and cons. What else are you feeling like?
Oh, yeah. We always had a completely like no filter kind of relationship where it was like, I said, dude, you suck, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, that kind of thing. And then, man, honestly, I had to pray for this guy.
See, that's really good 3 things. No, sheesh. All right, here we go. This guy. This is that one spot where they did Bad Boys. All right, we're about to go into the, what is this? Guarapo. Wrong. The Guarapo. This is the Guarapo, guys.
Rich.
I'm not a rich guy. All right, it's my first time at the Guarapo. How do I say it, first of all? Something sweet and refreshing as well.
Recommend either the Egypt that has strawberry, pineapple, orange, and sugarcane,
Yeah.
or the berry green, which is simple strawberry, blueberry, and sugarcane.
Let's do the Egypt. Going Egyptian, guys. Big Egypt vibes. Big Egyptian guy. You gotta get up into the tip.
Make sure you put don't forget to tip, nigga. Make sure you tip.
I'm a tip, all right? We're gonna tip right. We're gonna tip this guy.
Like, we gotta keep him honest. We gotta keep him honest.
This guy's is I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, we're at the Guarapo.
It's beautiful out here, man. After the rain, it's good. Remember how ugly it looked before? Now it's beautiful.
It's Miami.
Blue skies are coming.
Listen, this is a great guy. I'm honored to have him as a friend, as a brother. Listen, find you people like this so that you can have real talks. Real talk.